Good evening, America. I don't care where you are. You at the football practice, the basketball practice, AAU, Pop Warner, Little League, Big League, Medium League, high school, college, or in between. You should be here joining us like you on the sideline watching your son fly high. We are here for another episode of 48 Laws. The Book of Man book study of 48 Laws of Power. Doc, what's going on, big brother?
Man, what's happening, big man? Look at here. You be coming with the heat, bro. Wherever we at, whatever you doing, you need to be right here.
That's right. Put the phone up. I know you got the Wi-Fi. I know you paid your bill. You got internet. You got 5G everywhere. I know you. I know what you do. If you don't pay no other bill, you paying that phone bill.
That's right.
I got faith.
Pay that internet bill.
that phone and internet getting paid. Everybody else might have to wait. But
okay.
Phone and internet getting paid. If all you work from home is the internet getting paid before the phone. Y'all got to have it.
Okay.
Now you're gonna pay the internet bill.
For sure.
All y'all get your money, baby. All right, now here we go. We on 48 Laws of Power. We doing what? 45, 46. We getting down deep in the book, man. It's almost over.
Yeah, right.
Everybody, we got the poll up for the next book. Go down if you're in the group. Go down, vote on the next book. We gonna roll that right on out. Right after we finish up 48 Laws of Power, so go in there and do your vote in the poll. It's in the group. Scroll down a little bit and find the poll and vote.
It's in the featured section, pinned to the top.
There it is.
You can't miss it. Can't miss it at all.
There it is. Put your vote in. Let us know what you think. What book y'all want to hear next, and we're gonna get right into it. Doc, what chapters we got for them tonight, Doc?
Oh man, hold on, bro. Hold on. Because what up, OG in the house?
OG in the house. You know it's time to get to it now.
Yes, sir. The OG is here. All right. So here we go. 45 and 46. You know, there's only 48 laws. So we are like right there. And before we start that real fast, because I know we got to make it snappy tonight. But on the poll, we got Way of Superior Man, which is kind of in the lead right now, which that book is a life changer right there. So we had to hit that one. Definitely. I mean, we got the Will Smith on the list. We got Art of War. We got a couple 12 Rules of Life from Jordan Peterson, all of that. And we're going to go through all of them. It just depends on which order we do it.
Right. They're going to get done, but y'all get to pick which ones we do first.
There you go.
Now, this law right here, you got to preach the need for change up there.
Yeah.
But the other part is but in small doses or
what it say is preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once.
Yes. Take your time. Hurry up. Take your time.
There you go. OG said he voted for Superior Man too. I'm telling you, man, that one right there. Woo.
That's a deep
it's
one.
Hot.
Yeah.
but preach the need for change and never reform too much. And this is what it say. Pretty much, we know people are creatures of habit. And if you're new to a position of power or an outsider trying to build a power base, make sure respecting the old ways of doing things. If change is necessary, make it feel like a gentle improvement on the past.
Yep. And I agree. I pretty strongly agree with that concept and with this law here. I think this is a really good law, not so much as a strategic move, as strategically a move as some of the other ones, but definitely a cautionary law.
Uh-huh.
You know, to kind of tell you, hey, look, we know everybody that comes in wants change. It's like when you get that new manager at work. They come in here trying to change everything, and you like, my man, ease up. We know you want to make some changes. Take your time, brother.
I mean, honestly, people don't like change. They don't. They don't. And it's all about how you handle it. but also how we should act when change is coming to us.
Yeah.
We got to watch out for that. But here, you know what he talks about, basically how to enact change, how to make
Right.
changes happen. Here, the first thing he was talking about was Thomas Cromwell.
Yeah.
He messed this dude up, man.
Old Tommy Tom.
King Henry the Eighth. Thomas Cromwell was part of the church, and he was telling King Henry, "Hey, this is time for us to make a cut, make a divorce, make a break from the old way of doing things, so the English church could take over the Protestants."
Yep.
And he listened to that advice. He just cut it off. Now we ain't doing that no more. This is how we do it. And the people bucked on it. They didn't like that one bit.
Nope. I feel like in this story, your boy Cromwell, he was trying to secure his spot and slide in there with the king, and by virtue of that, he was trying to give the king. He already the king of England, but then he was going to cut out a power source, which is the Pope, and
Yeah.
increase the king's power by calling him the head of the Church of England as well. And the problem with that is you made the king, you made it all powerful in England at that point. And all it took was for a little bit of favor to go one way or the other. Now he was out there because the king gonna go with the people, or he gonna lose power.
Well, I mean, but think about how we gonna do that. If you was somebody in charge and you was somebody that had power, you need to be wary of people that's telling you everything need to change real fast.
Yeah.
Because that's what got him all messed up.
Yep.
And that was the thing that wasn't working.
I think, especially when you're dealing with something like tradition, which at this point, a lot of religion is tradition. So when you're dealing with something like tradition and something that's as deep in people's hearts and souls as their religion and their traditions, you can't just walk up and tell massive groups of people you got to do everything else different.
Oh yeah, no, because you got the way that we used to
like
do
a
stuff.
good idea.
That's the way it used to work.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you what I got down here in my notes, because he talks about other ways to affect change. And what I wrote is you can't make them do it. They must do it on their own.
Exactly. Or at least make them feel like they're doing it on their own.
Man, well, this relates to some of the other stuff. You got to make people think it's their idea.
Yes.
And unfortunately, but fortunately, a lot of people who are in long-term relationships or married, wives usually have that talent of making a lot of things seem like it's our idea, because they already know that if they do it that way and make us think we thought of it, they're not going to face any opposition.
Yep. That's true. It's definitely a tactic that I have failed victim to, making it feel like it was my idea. I'm sure most men have,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's okay. That works out. That's her using strategy right there.
That's right. But that's why it's important to get somebody you trust that's not going to abuse that.
Yeah.
And they set you up for a good thing.
Right. So the second story was about the Chinese guy. What was it? Moctezuma? Mao.
Yes.
Yeah. Now he did it right. He came in slick with it.
Oh, so he's asked, wasn't this in the previous chapter? Yeah, that's a funny thing about this book. OG said wasn't in the previous chapter. Yeah, the funny thing, a lot of these things are connected, like they weave into one another.
Yep.
That's the crazy thing. Like all this stuff is connected. Well, go ahead, tell them Mao.
I just love how Mao said, "Okay, I need y'all to change, but I'm gonna go so far back in history and make it seem like this change has been done before." Basically, that's what he made him. He made it almost seem like, "Oh, this change was what put us where we're at in the first place."
Ain't nothing new.
Yeah, ain't nothing new. That was a slick move. He aligned himself with heroes from the past and ideas from the past. I was like, okay, I see what he's doing there. That was really a slick move on his part.
Oh yeah, because he said what soon everything in Mao's speeches and writing had a reference to an earlier period in Chinese history.
Mm-hmm.
They did this back then. It works. Convince people that stuff worked. That's what they want to hear.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I like that. Listening to the chapter, I was like, okay. It kind of, the biggest thing about change we've had in recent history was Obama's election. Everything was change.
Yeah.
And after he did his 8 years, we saw that negative reaction to all the change. And that's how we ended up with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. They just bucked on it. But yeah. I guess there was no way you could get around that, though, because, whew.
Well, I think it had a lot to do with this chapter as far as maybe the change was a little too much for a lot of people.
Too much, too fast.
Too much, too fast for a lot of people. And I agree with some of it, and I disagree with some of it. I mean, there's no president that's ever let that you're going to agree 100% with everything they do. But that's normally how it is for the people who already have some level of power, already have things already smooth for them under the current system. Of course, when the change come in, their initial reaction is going to be, I don't need this change. I'm already good.
That's true. You know what I think of? I always try to look inward and look how the regular man can apply this.
Right.
We can apply this tactic to ourselves. I always say people can brainwash themselves on purpose.
Right. Yes, I agree.
So if you need to create a good habit, you can use what other people have done, what's happened in the past, to reinforce that same habit in your mind.
Yep.
Okay, I got to work 2 jobs, which for some people, that's easy. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to work 2 jobs. That's why I went to college. So I ain't got to work 2 jobs. Nope.
I respect that.
But if I gotta, okay, my daddy did this before. I remember seeing this.
Yeah.
We set our kids up with this. They saw how I did stuff, so they can duplicate it.
Yep.
So you can use this to your advantage no matter what side of the pendulum you own.
Well, see, I that's one thing. One way I thought about it. Another way I thought about it was the gradual change. For example, let's say you're trying to get a degree or lose some weight. None of that stuff happens overnight. It can be a big change, but you can gradually do it. You can say, hey, okay, I'm gonna stop eating sweets and cakes and all of that. Then you go a little bit further. All right, I'm gonna work out, 5 days a week.
Right.
Okay, now I'm gonna eat less bread in my diet, and you can just gradually over time. Next thing you know, you damn near vegan and you're 40 pounds.
And you doing it. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that is what build up. Right. Small steps. Focus on the small steps.
And then whatever you do, big change. But you never felt like it was never a jostle. It was just a gradual change, and you become something different, or you do something different. And I think, that's a more easier way for people to take it. It's hard for people to take that one step to the other day. It's like dealing with a bipolar person.
Yeah.
those swings can be hard.
Mm-hmm. You got to ease it on them.
Yeah, that's kind of what I get from this one. It's okay for change, but people have a hard time with it. Slide it in that sauce. Sometimes you got to come in there with a little. You got to finesse them a little bit.
You got to sneak the medicine in there.
Yeah,
Now, OG says learning from other people's mistakes and their successes. 100 on that.
Yeah.
Now, OG says learning from other people's mistakes and their successes. I'm hearing myself. I know, man. My phone hooked up to this thing. I got all kind of stuff going on over here. But that's it. You can learn from other people's mistakes and what they did right. We try to do that as much as we can. And honestly, I like that, man. I think that's my way to look at this whole thing.
Well, this entire book is teaching you it gives you in every chapter, give you the right way and the wrong way, or the wrong way first, and then the right way. So it definitely wants you to learn from other people's success. I mean, and failures. If you read this book and don't catch that theme, you gotta. That's a major theme in this book. Hey man, I'm showing you the right way and the wrong way. I can't do more than that for you.
Yep, got to learn from that.
Yeah, so I think that's a major theme of this book, and you gotta go with that.
Now,
and he's such an elaborate storyteller, man. I really like this guy.
Yeah. You know what? The one story, and I see that I highlighted this about Charles Darwin. He's the guy that came up with like the theory of evolution, that things evolve from other things.
Right.
And what this say is that the most pushback that he got wasn't from the religious people that believe that God made everything the way it is. He got more pushback from the people in his own scientific community trying to say he was wrong.
Look, I think that's a two-sided coin for me. I think part of that is people pushing back because competition.
Right.
I don't want you to be more right than me. And then secondly, you all in everything that we do, we have an older generation and a younger generation. So if you come along at your time with this new concept, it initially is going to offend the people that did it before you, because they're going to say what they had about it was right.
Right.
So even though it's odd in a field like science where the entire concept is everything is a theory and everything is to be tested all the time.
And you can prove a lot of things false.
Right.
This made me think about things that come before their time.
Yeah.
In technology, the biggest thing that came before its time that I can think of, well, there's a bunch of them. The first one was the whole Palm Pilot thing.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got smartphones, but it was too early for that. They weren't ready for that.
Yeah,
another one was the Google Glass. It's a wearable thing. It's about, I don't know, maybe almost 10 years ago, maybe between 5 and 10 years ago. Google came out with this pair of glasses. It was really just a little rim that go here with a reflective prism, and you can see the computer in front of your eyes, like augmented reality.
Oh.
They never caught on. Well, look what everybody got VR headsets now.
Right.
See,
I never even heard of a Google Glass.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Notice how they had to be about 5 years ago then, maybe 5 to 6 years ago. Oh, some people got them. They didn't roll them out real good because they ain't really caught on like that.
Yeah.
But if you look through our history, it's a lot of things that's ahead of its time. And you got to figure out how to integrate that, how to slowly do it. So if you ever have something that you're trying to do, just don't spring change on people like that. Just slowly do it. If you want to get your family to eat better, just don't say we ain't frying no more chicken around here.
Right.
Just slowly
start making chicken
bring
a different way. Just start making the chicken a different way. Don't even say that.
Like you said, after a while, you're going to be halfway vegan and 40 pounds lighter.
Exactly. Now, I like that chapter, but this chapter right here.
Oh, this was the fire one right here.
This the one right here. Hey, this the one, chapter 46. Man.
Yeah.
Never appear too perfect. Listen, all my haters out there. This for y'all. This for the I'm doing well and there's haters out there. This is how to handle the haters. Doc, please give it to him, Doc. Please, come on.
All right, y'all go ahead and buckle in, put on your safety belts and all that, because we got to do some talking.
This it right here. This the one.
Let's talk about it. So, appearing better than others is always dangerous. But most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. It's smart to occasionally display defects and admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. And that's what I put in my notes. Let people know you're human too.
They hating on you.
Woo.
You know, if you come out, if you look too good, you're too perfect, you're too right all the time, they gonna hate on. They ain't gonna like you. They gonna be envious. They gonna be jealous. Listen, the little way to get around that is give them a little something to hate on.
Yeah.
You know, give them. That's all he's saying. Give them a little corner to hate on.
That further in this chapter, or some stuff now. It tell you how to deflect it. This is
good,
man. All right. And let's go ahead and jump into it so we can get to the meat of this. The first one is the transgression of the law, or the thing that you should not do, or a thing to look out for. Now, he's talking about these two dudes, Orton and Hollowell.
Yep.
They went to acting school together.
Yep.
And eventually they hooked up, they became lovers and all that. And whether you with that or not, whatever, that's you. But that's what they did. And they was doing the same thing. So they was working together. One of them kept on failing. But then Orton, the other one, ended up having successes. Yep. People liked him. He started selling out shows. People wanted him for plays. People was doing all of this stuff. And he even tried to help his boyfriend. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put this thing on with you. I'm gonna put my name on it. Try to lift you up. None of that worked. Nope. Nobody liked this stuff.
Nope.
So you know what happened? At the end, boyfriend killed him. Yep. With a hammer. Bashed his skull in.
Jealousy and envy. Sound like Cain and Abel, don't it?
Yeah. Hey.
The original.
The
original.
I'm gonna break something to you, man. People's interpretation of that story is all wrong.
Yeah.
but I see where you're going, man. It is. Yeah. It's just something with envy and jealousy. And then the dude took 21 sleeping pills and died himself.
Look.
Yeah. Envy.
Hence the phrase, they hate me because they ain't me. Look, man, the more I read this book, the more I realize all those little things you learned and heard growing up that nobody ever broke down what they really and truly meant. You always had to interpret what they meant. This book is doing a great job of breaking down all them little, I'm going to call them little hood lessons we learned growing up.
Well, go ahead.
You know, how the people tell you, don't shine too much. Don't flex too much. Don't be out here doing too much because they going to hate on you. Out here, don't wear all your jewelry. Don't flash your money. All of that's going to create envy. They going to hate on you.
Hey, it's somewhere in here. When I come across it, we going to talk about it. But he said, if you're going to be rich in the house.
You understand me?
Be rich in the house.
Don't let them see all your new stuff.
And that's the thing.
When the boys say you get a brand new TV, you better sneak it in overnight and tear the box down.
Man, look, don't even put the box outside. You feel me? You better cut that thing up. But all right, but check this out. And this is going to come to what's going on today. He said Kenneth Hollowell tried to cast his deterioration on mental illness. But what the diary revealed, that it was envy.
Yep.
Everybody trying to say everything is mental illness.
He was just a
and
hater.
Most of the time, the mental illness is just you jealous, envious, or something like that.
That's it, man. They I know this is the way the chapter is written is as a warning to the person that's doing well. Hey, if you're doing well, you're excelling, you're going forward in life, these are the things you need to watch out on. Don't be too perfect.
Well, when you follow all of this stuff, this is what's going to happen. I wonder that's why he put it at the end.
I think so, because this is the eventual result of properly following the 48 laws of power. Matter of fact, there's laws in here that tells you to seem like you are superhuman. There's different laws we did in here. He say that people, it tells you to do things to make the impossible seem easy.
Yeah, that's true. But but even in the end where it talk about the reversals, it do say don't be like that all the time.
Right. You gotta give folks something to say. Well, he doing all that, but he's still just. He's still just dude. Yeah. Damn. So, and you know who good at that? You know what they? Oh, but he did all that, but like that Martin Luther King that came out a little while ago. Yeah, he did all that, but he cheated on his wife.
We had a show on that. Go back on YouTube, and you can see where we broke that thing all the way down. Right. But yeah, and he talked about that how some people give compliments, but they always attach it with a criticism.
Right.
He's smart. But his morals ain't all that good. He do bad stuff.
But according to this law, it ain't necessarily that bad to have people feeling that way. To feel like, hey, it's cool that he making this happen, making that happen, but he ain't all the way right because it keep them from being too envious of you. Mm-hmm. You take somebody like Floyd Money Mayweather. He out here, he's shining, he's stunting cars, all that kind of stuff. But he did just go to jail for domestic violence. He ain't all the way right.
You know what they gonna say? They gonna say Floyd got money. He got all these championship belts, but that joker can't read.
You see what I'm saying? You're right. He can't read though.
Hey, all right. Hey, this is a quick side talk, but I ain't gonna tell you no lie. That's the worst insult you could tell anybody. It don't matter if they're a kid or adult. You tell somebody they can't read, you about to fight. I'm just saying. But looking at this thing, all right, here you go, OG. It's always gonna be a hater, no matter what you do.
No matter what you do. But it's better to keep somebody hating on something you controlling than just sitting there, getting seething with envy.
And then people don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
That's what this does. Tells you how to deal with it. Because right here, where it talk about Orton, it said it was 2 solutions he could have did. 2 ways that he could have kept from getting his head bashed in. One, he could have downplayed his own success. Maybe, I ain't that good. Right. I ain't, we do a little something and showing some failures. Or he just could have got away from Buddy. Just left.
I think he would have had to go with option B. And I'm going to tell you why. He was too close to him to hide the success.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this part. When you are doing something, in any field, anywhere you're going, if you have a person next to you that has already tried and failed, that's the person who's going to probably be the most envious of your success.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you get a person that's maybe not successful, but they're doing something totally different, and they're not as successful, they're not going to have that kind of hate for you. But a person that's doing the same thing you're doing, trying and failing, that's the one who's going to be the most envious of you.
Yeah, that's true.
I work at the warehouse. I run the warehouse. I'm a warehouse manager. I can't be envious of somebody in the NBA. I didn't do that. I didn't make it to the league. I ain't put up I wasn't shooting in the gym.
Hey, nope. We ain't did no stretches. We ain't took no ice water baths. None of that.
None of that. So I can't be envious of them boys. All I can do is watch the show.
But you know what though? Sometimes, especially on a job, you get a promotion, you get the experience, and you become other people's managers that you used to work with.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be a problem. You're gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go. Yeah. And then again, they're gonna blame it on you.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times that's why a lot of companies are hesitant to hire from within. And then also it's why they'll promote you, but they're gonna move you.
Yep.
They're not gonna promote you and put you over the same area. They promote you and put you down in the other department.
That's right. You got to.
Yeah.
Just because of people. That is harmful things that can come out of both sides of that.
Yep.
And he talked about this when how you react when you have haters. Now that part of the chapter is That was an eye-opening one.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
They said we didn't do the dunk challenge. Man, nah. I told my wife about that thing. She said, "You better not try that. You can't do that no more." She said, "I'm not even gonna let you even attempt."
We ain't doing it.
Nah, bro.
I don't know. Put an 8-foot rim out there. Put an 8-foot rim out there. I might mess with you.
Hey. I was gonna load up the video game and do a dunk challenge on there. There we go. That is me.
That 2K dunk challenge.
Okay. But you know what he talked about here at the end of it? Where he talked about having to learn strategies of deflection and doing little sacrifices.
Right.
So he says either dampen your brilliance occasionally, purposely revealing a defect, weakness, or anxiety, or attributing to your success to luck, like saying it just happened,
Right.
or find some new friends. Because if everybody here, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden you kind of prepare yourself doing some things. Like you and all your homeboys here. You know, they may be on the corner doing whatever, but now all of a sudden you go into school, you got your CDL, you learn how to weld, you do something. And now you ain't out there so much, but you kind of bringing home more and you raising yourself up. You can't go back here. You know where you need to go? People that's already up here.
Yep.
That's why people who earn a lot of money, they start associating with people who got more money than them.
Yep.
There's no room for envy.
Nope. It's like this, and I'm glad I wanted to get to this part.
Uh-huh.
And I'm saying this to a lot of people. As you progress forward in life, you're gonna have to cut some people loose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just what it is. I recently had a friend, and I told him, man, you living in a way I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. We don't live like that over here. Mm-hmm. So you either gonna get on this page that we live on over here, or we not gonna associate like that.
They call it loving them from a distance.
Right. And you cool, you good people, whatever, but you still living a lifestyle I no longer can associate myself with.
Yeah, and it's not because you are better, and which I guess the chapter talk about that too, because some people are going to think that you saying you better than them, but you just don't do that stuff no more.
Yeah,
you just don't be in them places no more.
I can't do it.
So I just saying, remove yourself.
I'm not, I moved to a whole new city to remove myself. So
hey,
you got to do it. You have to be Eric Thomas. You have to be willing to give up who you are for what you want to become.
Yeah. You can if you're still holding on to it.
Right. Because if who you are was good enough, you'd already have it.
And I mean, you know what? Let's put that to all the men out there, people in our group. If you want to be better and you still holding on to your old habits and old ways of doing things, you will never get there because you refuse to let something go.
Yep.
But we have to be cognizant. We have to know what we're doing, that you holding on to this stuff, everything we refuse to do. I mean, I'll even go so far as, when you say a diet, because that's the easiest one for people to relate to and understand. Right. I'm not eating vegetables. Man, I don't do that. But then you don't want to lose no weight. I can't read books. I ain't got time to be doing no reading or listening to nothing, man. I can't do that. Well, but you don't want to learn nothing. You don't want to learn.
That's it.
I mean, that's where the answers are. Everything is there. That's why, okay, on the religious point, in the Bible way, he said, Christ said, pick up the cross and follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it means. Put that old stuff down and do things a new way.
Exactly. You got to do it. And this is how you end up with people being envious of you and you hating on you and all that, because you staying around them same people who not moving in the direction you moving.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. You either got to get let's take the case of the two fellas in the beginning of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You either got to let that person go and get with somebody that's okay being number two.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You get with somebody that's okay being number two, or you got to move on. Just be, you
Yeah.
got to move on. And that's just what it is in a situation like that.
Sanity, the same thing, doing the same thing over and over, expecting something different. That's what I'm saying. So,
Right.
so many, I'm going to write that down. That's going to be a title. Everybody's insane.
Yeah. But
That's what it is.
let's talk about our modern day athletes. Half of the mistakes these guys make is by still young Dolph.
Yeah, and we got to hope that whole show's on YouTube too. Go back.
Young Dolph.
C. Wright was on there with us.
It was haters and envious, but he refused to let go of the hood.
Well, but think about this. And I just thought about this right before you said that. And I'm glad you took it in that direction. Now, right here, he says envy is a weed that should not be watered, right? Mm-hmm. And then before that, it said whenever he wished to achieve something, he saw to it. So he did everything he set out to do in order to escape envy as much as possible. He did everything to escape envy. Then I thought, what if you get elevated to a point to where you had to worry about the haters? Not that you had a choice to ignore them, but you had to worry about them. You had to address it.
So
sometimes you have to, and this is telling you how to do it. Yeah. You can't just ignore them.
Yeah, it can get to a point where you can't just ignore them, but that's a nice place to be realistically, because that means you've achieved a lot, or at least you advanced a lot from where you were before. And, and I think half of that is recognizing that you have the haters and recognizing that you have people envious of you, and adjusting your surroundings accordingly.
So here he says, make alliances with those below you and elevate them to positions of power to secure their support in times of need. Never flaunt your wealth and carefully conceal the degree in which it has brought influence. Always make a display of deferring to others as if they were more powerful than you. I think about when they say respect everyone, even the janitors. In a school, the janitors are the most powerful person in there.
Yep.
They get paid less than everybody, but they hold the most power.
Yeah, because they miss a day. The whole school know they miss a day.
Oh, it's over with. It's over with.
Teacher miss a day, you just get a sub.
Yep, they miss a day. Bus drivers, all of them, the lowly people. Yep. They make everybody's job easy. So what do they tell you to do? Make friends with the janitor. Always respect them.
Yep.
And that's what this is saying. Even though I don't see people who do labor jobs as below me, but the jobs are different, but I still respect them. When I was the warehouse manager, when I was the assistant GM, I did this to the fellas that was out there unloading trailers.
Yep.
I treated them with all the utmost respect. You
better, because you don't want to unload them trailers.
I tried. They wouldn't let me. I'm serious. It's like I would go out there to help. Like, man, I'm working with you. Nah, doc, you go back in that office and do some computer work. I got this. I'm gonna let you know when I need something, but you handle that. I got this.
Yeah, you in the way. You in the way, man. Go back in the office.
But they respected that, and I treated them, accordingly, because they are men. Yeah. They are men just like me. I'm not better than them.
No.
And I don't treat anybody like that, because it could be another form when you can be on the bottom.
It's always another form where you on the bottom. That's the thing. Yeah. It's always, no matter how high you rise in one thing, something else you ain't nothing.
That's right. Now, OG said, OG first said it's all in how you address it, like you would address the haters and stuff like that. And that's what this whole chapter is about. So you're hitting it on the head. Yep. And now respect the person when they do right, no matter the profession.
That's correct.
Let's
go back to that respect. That's the biggest issue here. You get to a certain you making your way up in the ranks, and the person is envious of you 9 times out of 10 because they don't respect what you've done to get there.
That's right.
They think it was some you just was this perfect person. No, nobody like they said, well, nobody with me when I was shooting in the gym. You know, don't be envious of what I've done if you didn't put the work in that I put in.
Uh-huh.
You don't respect the work. Like one of the things I've always said is no matter what position a person is in, they did whatever they had to do to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to get there, you better figure it the fuck out.
There you go. Instead of hating on you, better ask them how they
Yeah.
did it.
But hey, that's what you better do. You
Because
around here
I'm gonna
hating
do
on
that.
somebody mad because they up here up. You better figure
But
out how to
but if somebody come to you with that, help them.
yeah.
Help them.
Yeah.
I have people call me up. Matter of fact, I featured a call today. One of our old friends had gave me a call and wanted to know about how to do some video editing.
Mm-hmm.
I told him.
Oh
And a
yeah.
matter of fact, when he downloaded the software, I'm gonna call him next week and show him how to do it.
Yep.
So they
And
can do it.
that's what we got to get back to, man. All that being envious and hating on people and all. To me, it seems like such a waste of time, man. Because I feel like I'm blocking my blessing when I hate on somebody else's success.
But the more you help others and work with others, the more you become rich.
Yeah.
So now here, I'm gonna read this, and this made me. I'm gonna tell you something that happened this week. Never be so foolish as to believe you are stirring up admiration by flaunting qualities that raise you above others. By making
Mm.
others aware of their inferior position, you're only stirring up unhappy admiration or envy, which will gnaw away at them until they undermine you in ways you cannot foresee.
Mm.
You said something about that earlier. You're shining too much.
Yeah.
Don't be flaunting stuff, putting it all out there.
Yeah. Ease up.
Cause look what he's saying. After a while, they're gonna see you, and they be like, man,
He always
and then
coming
all of
around
a
here.
sudden it start building up until either they're gonna rob you or hurt you.
Yep. He always
It
coming
built
around
up.
here driving his fancy car and wearing his jewelry and all that. Man, he like acting like we don't have nothing. Like we ain't nobody.
Uh-huh.
Over they seething, ready to tear you down. And it's hard to tell a person who has done the work to get to a certain point in their life that they have to curtail how they want to live in front of certain people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard sell, which is why I'm a proponent of they either gotta come, you gotta get folks to come up to your level, or you gotta go to the next level.
That's
Because
right.
having the take back how you want to live for somebody else's, I'm not with it.
Real quick, let's talk about this. You can envy and good. He talks about this in the chapter.
Right.
So OG, when we get to that part, you'll see he talks how to do that. But the story I was going to tell you about, I talked to my cousin the other day. He's an engineer, electrical engineer, up there near you. Henry,
Yeah.
he is in Henry County.
Okay, McDonough.
Yep, that's where he at. Electrical
Yeah.
engineer. He said he's the only black man at this business.
Dang.
And he was telling me what it was like to have that position. He says, I've been a black engineer for the past 20 years. And I've had to cross every T twice, dot every I, all of that to keep the people from hating on him and shutting them down. He had to make sure. He said it's lonely. But this made me think about him because that's the things you have to do, you know. So look at this. Miss OG said, don't forget where you come from. But then we talked about Young Dolph.
You don't have to forget where you come from, but I ain't got to visit either.
But you know what, though? I think when people, oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Uh-huh. But yeah, don't forget where you come from. And that's the truth. I guess when people say that, you can't be like you are better than other people, because that's the source of all this envy.
Right.
And he says here, the human animal has a hard time dealing with feelings of inferiority.
Yes.
In the face of superior skill, talent, or power, we are often disturbed and ill at ease because most of us have an inflated sense of ourselves.
Mm.
And when we meet people who surpass us, they make it clear to us that we are, in fact, mediocre, or at least not as brilliant as we have thought. Yes,
Yes.
there's lots of times. Now, I'm not envious, but there's lots of fellas on our timelines in the group. I'd be like, that's a smart dude right there. That dude's smart. It don't make me jealous, but I'm like, yeah, some people make me feel dumb. Like my son. But go ahead.
When okay, well, let's talk about that.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's a real feeling. You can
Mhm.
meet somebody or see somebody and say, "Wow, how do I get there?" That's the difference, though. Some people ask, "How do I get there?" and
Right.
others ask, "Why is he there?"
It
It's
should
the
be
"Why
me.
is he there?"
Mhm.
You got to have the issue. The "How do I get there?" is okay. That's the good part of envy.
Right.
It's the "Why does he get to be there?" That's the problem.
Yeah. When you start questioning that.
Yeah, and people got to get a lot of that out of their system. And for those who have made it, recognize that not going to say most, a lot of people will never get it out of their system.
Because they don't know how to get, they don't. You have to be conscious of envy.
Yeah.
And in here, in this book, he says it's a couple things you have to accept. And one of them was the fact that you will have envy. But you have to know how to deal with it.
Mm.
And that's why he goes through all of this thing here, explaining it. Envy brings us neither comfort nor closer to equality. Nor can we admit to feeling it because it's frowned upon. To show envy is to admit to feeling inferior.
Mm.
So what I get out of that is that we often run from things that make us feel bad, or what we consider to be bad. We run from it. We won't do it. It's kind of like people know they gaining weight, but they know they want to try to lose weight, but they'll never step on the scale because you're running from it.
Yeah. You scared to see what that number is. I've been there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but you got to swallow it, man. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. But then, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say, man. I know we was on the clock tonight, and I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you got any closing remarks?
Woo. Yeah. Yo, go back. Oh, hold on. But if you feel equal, you won't strive for better. Yeah, real quick before we get to that. What OG talking about is taking those feelings of envy, and he talk about it in the book, and don't allow it to gnaw at you, but to turn it around to propel you forward.
Right.
That's what OG talking about, and that's what Robert Greene was talking about. So he got that. That's old school knowledge.
Yeah, that's
he
the
said
good
it in
part
a different
of envy.
way.
That's the good part of envy.
Uh-huh. But what I was gonna say, it's a lot of stuff in this chapter. A lot. And if you're watching this, take some time to go through it. We may end up doubling back at some point. We'll see the stuff come up again. Other than that, just be careful. Know yourself. That's what I'm gonna say. Take time to know yourself. What makes you envious of other people? What makes you feel afraid? I mean, down to what it feels like in the pit of your stomach. So when it happened, you know it's there. That's a slow way to do it, and you have to be intimately aware of yourself. But a lot of us are scared of ourselves. We're scared of what we're going to see when we look inside, and not that it's evil or nasty or something like that, but that we are actually mediocre and inferior, and we're scared to look at that. But you got to in order to get better.
And I'm gonna come the whole other way, and I'm gonna say, let your haters be your motivators. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them stop your shine. They gonna get on your level, or you keep moving up. That's all I got to say about that.
Man. Okay. So we got 2 more chapters left. Y'all come back for the last one. We finished this book.
Yeah.
I mean, from January to now.
I'm excited, man.
Boy, I'm happy.
Power, man. We had 2 more chapters left. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, if that don't happen, close this thing out. It's been good. I'm glad to be done, but I'm still, I still love doing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, it's so much in this book. Like, we can go back through these chapters and it'll be new lessons. It's so much.
Might have to go back and hook these chapters together and see which ones tie together.
and you know what? We might do like an overall like summary show or something. Maybe, I don't know.
We may have to write some stuff for that. Yeah.
But thank y'all for joining us, man, on this Thursday night. I know it's a little bit shorter than we normally do, but we got family things to take care of. Appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Jay Sims, the Lion, and Doc. We out.
Later.